Welcome to Ridiculous. I hope you're doing well wherever you are in the world. I hope you're living your best life. r/NoStupidQuestions. Wife is a nurse. I'm cheating on her. I have to have surgery. Will I spill the beans under anesthesia? Without going into too much detail, she reads Reddit. I have to have shoulder surgery next month. Leaving HIPAA out of it, people gossip. Am I likely to out myself as a cheater under the anesthetic? Dominius Chaos 88 said, Mate, you've said too much. If she reads Reddit, I'm pretty sure she will put 2 and 2 together, as surely she knows you have shoulder surgery. Sprinkle said, if he's dumb enough to cheat on his wife, he's dumb enough to make this post. Robots914 said, how about you confess before you go under? Sprinkle said, boy. Ice Cube and Ice Cube said, just fucking divorce her. Laughs at Danger said, I doubt you will. I've had some surgeries in my time and never spilled secrets of any kind. Your wife won't be able to see you until you're out of recovery, and recovery nurses are used to weird anesthesia conversations. Sprinkle said, I think he's implying that she'll be doing the surgery. Laughs at Danger said, I feel like that isn't allowed, but I could be wrong. But if she isn't the recovery nurse, my hunch stands. And by recovery nurse, I mean as you're waking up, but before they've gotten you to your own room or wherever you will be until you go home. Anonymous said, I hope you do tell her, then she'll realize what a scummy she's with and she'll drop your ass. Lake 72 said, I have wondered the same thing. I've gotten a ton of medical this year, and when I hit consciousness again, I think, what the hell did I say? How do people with security clearance or bound by confidentiality laws deal with it? Melzari said, I hope she finds this post and divorces you and takes half of all your shit. You deserve it. Cam Curler 23 said, is she going to be the nurse looking after you? Cause that's a little weird. Have you had anesthesia before? It's not a truth serum, so you likely won't say anything incriminating, but you never know. Either way, you've got a month. Maybe end the affair if you're so worried or figure something else out. r/askreddit. Anesthesiologists of Reddit. What's the most disturbing thing you've heard from a sedated patient? Cheese G said, retired now. But I didn't mean to kill her, was probably the freakiest. Sam the Jam Sandwich said, my mom was getting knee surgery, woke up in the middle and said,
Whoa, hold up, I'm not even wearing any underwear.
Then they knocked her out again. Lima said, did she really not have any underwear? Pug Fugly Mo said, a story my dad often tells. There was an elder woman getting a colonoscopy under sedation, and when it started, she said, Harold? Is that you? Madison 24 said, reverse, was going under for an emergency DNC, and my anesthesiologist had a Russian accent, and the last thing he said to me in his very deep and menacing Russian voice, whilst towering over my head at a staggering 6'7", was,
now you go night-night.
That weird book lady said, I bet he did that on purpose just to see the terror in your eyes. Kike Leap said, he saw an opportunity and fucking seized it. Middle-aged man coming out of anesthesia for a hemorrhoidectomy. Now that you've seen my asshole, I think it's only fair that I see yours. No Pulse Esta Cabron said, fair trade. Tanny Fodder said, equal exchange. Captain of the Guards said, I came out of anesthesia in a hospital dress. For some reason, I decided I couldn't breathe. The dress was too tight and needed more air. I unlaced the front of it and let my boobs hang out. I sighed happily and stared into the distance, gently drooling. A nurse happened to walk by a minute later and offered to kindly adjust me after she saw an old man who was about to go into surgery, gawking at me. I looked at her and slurred,
It's okay, probably the best thing he'll see the whole day.
She chuckled and fixed me up anyway. When I was 13, I went to see my dad in the hospital as he woke up from what had almost become a full-blown diabetic coma. When he saw my family, he gestured for my brother to come closer, then whispered, the nurse told me not to lift large objects, but I need to use the restroom. Dash Clone said, I had a couple of patients bark, but I think the worst patient was the one who was sedated for an x-ray, who suddenly sat up and tried to bite my face off. He got more drugs. I'm a veterinary anesthesiologist if that makes a difference. Fallen Milkman said, apparently after shoulder surgery, I was coming out of my drug-induced coma. The nurse went to shift my blankets. My hospital gown must have moved and uncovered my junk. She just smiled and moved the blankets back over. Apparently I looked at her and said, you saw mine, now let's see yours. Now I don't remember any of this. I had to hear about it from my wife who was sitting in the chair next to the bed. Jehovah's Space Witness said, once my mom had surgery and when she was waking up from the anesthesia, and on a whim decided to fuck with my dad. So as she was regaining consciousness, she bleary looked at my dad and said, who are you? My dad didn't take it well, but she still laughs about it to this day. NZT said, I woke up in the middle of a neurologist trying to clip an aneurysm in my brain. I reached my hand up, grabbed the surgeon's hand and said,
You're hurting me.
Several staff, including the anesthesiologist, screamed like a girl. The doctor asked me where the pain was and then practically shouted at the anesthesiologist to get her under. Afterwards, the anesthesiologist came to apologize. He said it took 4 times the normal amount for a person my size, small, to stay out. The doctor told me I was crushing his hand with the probe in it, and it took everything he had to jump and stab my brain with the probe. They had never had someone wake up in surgery before. Neglectful Stranger said, that doctor needs a huge fucking raise. Having your patient grab your hand during brain surgery and not scrambling their brains? Damn. Kate in Tampa said, I sang the safety dance song over and over and over while coming to post-boob surgery. Didn't even know I knew the safety dance at the time. Then when my brother picked me up after, I was still singing it and trying to flash half the hospital. Edit. Gave my little dude his arm back. Jaleese111 said, not disturbing but silly. Me as a patient. My husband told me that during my emergency C-section for my firstborn, I was really out of it. 27 hours of labor. And as my child made her first cries, I started crying and said, oh no, it's a duck. And the whole ER busted out laughing and reassured me I had a baby, not a duck. Lima said, right before surgery, while the doctor was making me count backwards from 10, I stopped and said,
No, wait, I have to shit.
At the time, it seemed like the most horrifying thing for a 16-year-old girl to hear after waking up. I said, what to him? He looked a bit like John Stamos. I'm happy to say that I did not shit myself.